Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. President Obama, Winston Churchill, and torture. That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. President Obama has made his position clear to the world. The United States will no longer use enhanced interrogation methods when questioning high-valued captured terrorists. In fact, only Army field manual rules will apply, and there are essentially no rough stuff at all in any form allowed. In his press conference last week, the president justified his new interrogation orders by pointing to Winston Churchill.
Churchill said, "We don't torture." When the entire British, all of the British people were being subjected to unimaginable risk and threat. And the reason was that Churchill understood you start taking shortcuts, and over time, that corrodes what's best in a people. It corrodes the character of a country.
Well, the factor was on the air just a few minutes after the president spoke, and I said this. Just one problem with that answer, Mr. President, with all due respect here. I'm not trying to nitpick. The British government uses very, very rough techniques on captured terrorists. Ask the IRA. And the SAS is an extremely feared force all over the world. Now, I don't want a Monday morning quarterback, but maybe Britain was not the best example there. And since then, the factor has been investigating Winston Churchill's position on waging war and interrogating the enemy. Aided by Boston University professor Cathal Nolan, we have found out the following. Churchill actually wanted to use poison gas on the Germans in violation of the Geneva Convention, but was stopped by the British War Cabinet. The Royal Air Force killed hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions of civilians by targeting non-military sites. And the British operated a number of interrogation centers during and after World War II, including one called the London Cage, where German prisoners were beaten, deprived of sleep, and threatened with death. Another center was opened in Bad Nendorf on German soil after Churchill left power. It was almost like a concentration camp. British government documents detail terrible torture inflicted on the Germans. Some of the inmates were branded human skeletons. The point is that in every war, brutal things are done. Some are flat out wrong. Some are necessary to win. President Obama's British example was wrong. Winston Churchill was a true hero. His strong leadership helped save his country from Hitler, but he did brutal things, as did FDR and Harry Truman. So enough with the platitudes, Mr. President. Let's understand what we're really dealing with here. Right now, the Taliban are murdering civilians in Afghanistan and Pakistan. Al-Qaeda continues its worldwide terror jihad with America as the #1 target. It is not against American values to protect ourselves. And the president should have the power to order tough interrogation techniques, including the non-lethal waterboarding if lives are at stake. But the president alone should make that call. That would not corrode our values. It is a rational policy that understands the brutal